Hello, everybody. It's
Hi.
Thursday weekly training. And today I have the all-amazing Keisha,
Oh, hi everyone.
luxury consultant and Brainy girl coach.
Oh yeah, I like that. Very good, Sashka.
Thank you. And so I'm Sashka, I'm the host. So I'm going to be talking to different guests on BrandSashka, giving some training about branding and the movers and shakers in the world doing some different stuff that are really kicking butt. And in the world of branding, guerrilla marketing, new ideas, fresh ideas, flipping ideas, and really inspiring women and men to bring out their passion and their soul and really own it. Really own it. So this is mine. I'm making it work.
Absolutely, yes.
Woohoo! So we're going to kick this off, and I'm going to ask you, Ms. Shields, to introduce yourself, what you do, who you are, and about your program that I'd like to talk about today. BAHB.
Okay, hi everyone. So I am Keisha P. Shields. I am the creator of Beauty and Her Brains and the CEO of Pink Label International. And I always like to say it's about helping typically women to kind of reinvent themselves, to create luxury ventures that incorporate their passions and their purpose. And it's really about supporting women to recognize their brilliance and to not be afraid to display that out into the world. And that's why I'm like brainy girl coach, right? Because there's so many amazing, fabulous, brainy men and women who are a little bit afraid to own it, right? And to really put that out there, and they tend to dumb themselves down because to see what everyone else is doing seems to work. And so they think that what they have must not, all these things that come up. And so that's what I do, and I love it. And so I'm happy to be here with Sashka. I do teach luxury branding. I have previously, so hopefully I can, give some insight on things that might help you all to get your brand built and out there and awesome and not cookie cutter and all that.
Keisha, I'd love to. I'm going to be posting something in the replay afterwards to let everyone see the gorgeous branding that Keisha has, and it really reflects your soul. So it really comes from the inside out. It's not just pretty pictures and whatever, but it really comes. It's just nice because you get really pretty and creative things, but it doesn't. You don't feel it. And with you really feel it. So if I see you and I see your brand, I'm like, the two fit together. I said they're hand in hand.
That's awesome. And that means a lot coming from you. So I'm happy to hear that.
Cool.
Yeah.
So Beauty and Her Brains. Now, why do you feel that we aren't using our beauty and our brains? Oh, we got a glitch. Oh, there we go. You're back.
Oh, my goodness. Sashka?
Are you there?
Can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
I'm there. Yes, I can. That's the joys of technology.
That's it.
Sashka?
Yes.
That's it. Absolutely. Perfect. So why do I think that women and men aren't using their beauty and their brain? Oh my goodness. I feel like the answer is so complex that it's simple. And the truth of the matter is it's because when you have a mind, like a genius level mind, and genius is not necessarily a high IQ. Some people are creative geniuses, right? Some people are academic geniuses. Some people, it's just so many different ways, but it comes down to, in my opinion and from my experience with the fact that oftentimes you don't see your ideas reflected in the marketplace. So it's easy to feel like you're not on the right track because no one else is doing what you see, right? And so a lot of times, before you know it, you've kind of thought, oh my gosh, I must be doing something wrong, or maybe it's to this, maybe it's to that, right? Because no one else is doing it, right? And I think that's one of the biggest reasons that women and men, especially online entrepreneurs, don't really utilize their braininess. And as far as their beauty, a lot of people don't, because I feel like, we've society has kind of chosen what they identify beauty as, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like online, if people are often misunderstood and it comes off as boastful. So I think that people kind of just don't acknowledge it. But like, for example, my clients are beautiful and I tell them that. And I've had clients tell me, oh my gosh, Keisha, thank you for saying that. And I'm like, what do you mean thank you for saying that? They're like, well, because you can say it, but I can't say that about myself, right? Because of what people may think. So I think it comes down to, again, not seeing a lot of yourself out there. So it feels like something is wrong, something's amiss, when it's absolutely the opposite. The reason why you need to be out there is because no one is doing what it is that you'd like to be doing.
Yeah. Oh, you're hanging again.
Yep.
Yep. Back. Damn, connection.
Am I?
Yep.
We're back.
Yeah, yeah.
I have to get that energy. Absolutely. Yeah. So that's my answer, Sashka.
And it's so true, because I was just speaking to someone, or noticing this over the last 2 weeks online in a lot of groups, is that online is this whole landscape, and who you surround yourself with is how you're going to project yourself. So if you're surrounding yourself with not people that don't aspire to something, then you're not going to feel very brainy or very academic or very creative. So then you feel, I'll make myself lower so that I can be within this group. Whereas and online exposes you.
I'm raising my hand for that. I'm yes, guilty. Yeah.
And online exposes, for example, exactly this, where you have a training where you see you and what you're doing and movers and shakers, where it's like, oh my God, that is so freaking amazing. And then you hook up with the same people, and this whole expansion is like, yes. And that's where you start.
I completely agree. And the thing, Sashka, is that won't happen until you get to a place to where you recognize that is the level where you need to be operating, right? We don't realize, but by dumbing down our ideas and our perspective and what we do and how magnificent we are, by dumbing it down, you're not allowing yourself to attract a group of people who are thinking aligned with where you are. And so you'll find yourself, like you said, running in circles where people are. For them, the bare minimum is sufficient. Who has genius, and you have a bigness about you, by internally acknowledging the fact that, you know what, I am a freaking genius. Just getting on that level of vibration, even if you don't say it, right? Just internally you acknowledge it. That level of vibration will instantly upgrade your brand, because as you talk about what you do, you're going to be more confident, you're going to be more assured, and then you're going to start speaking your perspective when you see other people who can relate to that. It makes such a big difference. And I think it just doesn't happen because we tend to dumb down and feel like, just based on what we see going on. And you're right, who you align yourself with makes a significant difference, especially when you're creating an online brand, for sure.
Yeah.
It's
my hand.
Yeah, it is. One of the things I want to say, Sashka, is that is especially true, I've found, with people who like to have a little bit more elevated brands, right? A lot of times, and you probably know this being in branding and working with brands, is that a lot of people tend to compare their idea to somebody who's on a totally different level, right? And then they end up hiding products and programs because these other people aren't displaying the right. It's so many things that happen when you have to make sure.
Gone. Okay, wait.
That stuff has to be in it, right? It has to be there. You have to operate from that level. Otherwise, you're not comparing yourself evenly, to where you want to be, and then you won't attract the clients you want. Your marketing won't sell. I don't care. You can have the best copy. If your energy is not there, if it reeks of desperation at all, or if it just doesn't feel like what you're saying matches who you're presenting, it just won't sell. So make that you're just being yourself. Be yourself. Be your brilliant, amazing, genius self. And it's okay. I tell people all the time, when I recognize genius, I will tell them. I tell you, Sashka, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like you freaking genius, like with what you do, right? Because a lot of times we feel too humble to say that. We just do. It feels kind of weird for some people. And her brains came about was because I could 100% relate to that. Like, I have this amazing perspective, and people would always seek me out for things. But online, I would just kind of hide in the background because I would see, I'm like, nobody's really talking about things the way that I do. It felt really weird, and I was at a place to where I started being a follower. I started talking about conversations that I could care less about, right? Just I'm being visible. I'm being visible. Yeah, I was being visible, but it was not helping me, right? It was so fake. It was just phony, and it felt that way, Yes, I'm gonna say, so it's really important you have to own it and acknowledge it, and put that into your brand.
And I find you said so many important nuggets, so many important things, and one of the things is also to do with the brand is if you when you're owning something. I know I'm guilty of this often. You're following, like you'll see someone and you're going, oh, maybe I should do it like them because they earning this, or maybe I should do it like them because they're doing it like this. And then I always I put a big thing up for myself to remind myself as well, this is my purpose. This is how I solve my clients' problems. And this is why I'm doing what I love.
Yes.
I'm not doing it because of them. I'm not doing it because of them. I'm doing it because of what I have been called to do. So whatever I completely, that's what I need to do. And I
completely agree with that.
Oh, connections.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. I was waiting. Go ahead, Sashka. What were you saying?
No, the connection's really bad.
Oh, that's terrible. Well, you know what? Maybe we'll have to do a round 2.
Probably.
Yeah, that's okay. I love it. You know what? But you know what? You go with the flow, right?
Always.
Like, so many people would just be so angry. Oh my God, the technology. And it's just like, you know what? Hey, I guess we have to redo it, or whatever, which happens sometimes, or sometimes having a part 2 to something, right? Because at the end of the day, what matters is that people are able to hear the message, right? Because there is inevitably going to be someone who needs to hear something, especially when it comes to owning it. And like for me, when you talked about, brand, I love how you really emphasize and differentiate the two. I like how you talk a lot about that, because before I was doing a lot of branding.
Gone.
Yeah, could you hear me, Sashka?
Yeah. Before you were doing a lot of branding and then?
Branding, but had very little of a brand, right? And I would not have realized that, at that time, right? And the reason why I said I had very little brand, because I was not showing up in my truth, the truth of who I knew I was, Right? I allow who I am. You absolutely right. Who I am. So what I would do was be just like other people. I was on a very low level playing field, right? And it was okay. I kind of okay, but I wasn't thriving that way, right? Because I always felt like I wanted to be more intense in my work, right? I'm like, how come I don't feel inspired? I don't feel like I'm using my brain for anything, right? You know, I mean, yeah, I'm making money, but it's kind of like a mindless thing, right? I want to be intellectually involved in my clients and in my business. I wanted all those things, right, you know, to have its place. Does that make sense, Sashka? And that was different for me. And I'm like, you know what? I'm freaking smart. And I love that I'm smart, right? And nobody would know that if they didn't know, right?
And if you didn't put yourself out there either.
Exactly. I love how you've gone off video completely. That's awesome.
So maybe I can keep the bandwidth going really well. Keep the focus on Keisha.
Yeah, so we'll have to cut.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. Hey, so tell me my next question.
Yes.
The Mad Hatter. Don't you love that?
I do, actually. I really do.
The Mad Hatter. That's me, the crazy one.
I love interviews where we can laugh and despite everything. Like those are the best to me. So I'm fine with that. So this was going to be our blooper reels. Let's post it.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so what's your question, Sashka?
So my question is, okay, so now we've been talking, the thing is, online and a lot of groups, there are a lot of leaders, there are a lot of followers. And a lot of the leaders undervalue their expertise and their specialities. And they find it difficult to discern between a startup, small businesses, and solopreneurs in that introduction, innovative phase where they're in their life cycle, where they're only starting off. And because you can't see someone online or in Facebook groups or LinkedIn groups or whatever, you put your brains lower. So you value yourself. So you're not able to bring forth that braininess of yourself.
Absolutely.
But there are a lot of small businesses and solopreneurs that have a lot to give and want a lot from the experts, but they don't know how to ask for it. Yeah?
Agreed as well. Yes, absolutely.
So how should a small business or a solopreneur, how, in your opinion, communicate their brand or market their brand so that they can show their expertise better? Do you think it should be more the brand or the branding or the mixture?
I definitely think it's a mixture of both. But let me tell you this. I would say it's about the brains behind the brand and the branding. Because the biggest piece of advice I can give is that if you want to attract the clients that you want to have, you have to operate and make your decisions from a place of where you want to be, not where you are now. A lot of entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, it doesn't matter, in my opinion, make that grave mistake of talking to who they think will work with them right now, rather than being truthful and talking to the people who they actually want to work with in the future. Like, for example, if I'm saying that I want to attract women who identify themselves as brainiacs and geniuses, then guess what? The way that I speak needs to reflect that, right? I need to be okay talking a little bit philosophical about something, right? Why? Because that my client will identify with that, the one that I'm looking for, right? So when I'm putting together my brand and my branding, I would make sure to incorporate the things that she is going to connect with.
Mm.
And so that is what you have to do. Don't be so afraid that the person you want to work with, the person you're marketing to, the person you're trying to attract won't work with you now, because you are going to attract who you are showing up as. And that is the biggest thing. And I do think branding makes a significant difference, especially when you're going for a premier or more exclusive clientele, right?
Yeah.
The way that you look matters. It is the truth of the matter. And it's not a matter, people say, well, if someone wants to be so uppity or snobby that they would not work with me because of my brand, then I don't want to work with them. The truth of the matter is that it's usually not that. It's usually that they want to feel like you have put in the time, the detail, right, to really make sure that you have your bases covered. And that's what they're looking for. Yeah. They want to know that you didn't just throw something together and then slap a $10,000 price tag on it. Exactly. They want to know that you thought about those little things in your branding, the little things, you know? And so just keep that in mind. And you have to know that, I tell people all the time, I think I told you this too before, Sashka, I recommend unsubscribing from people's lists. Yeah. I remember we had a conversation before and you was like, oh, did you hear about so-and-so? And I'm like, no. Why? And it has nothing to do with them. It has everything to do with me. Yeah. Because the trickiest way to devalue your brains and to not operate fully in your brilliance is to see what other people are doing, even if it's unintentional, right? There's an automatic kind of comparison thing happening. When I detach from all of those things and I allow myself to operate from my brain only, I think about all the fresh ideas that come to me about how I want to work and what I want to do come up, right? And those things typically get blocked. So then my brand starts to form. I start owning it more. All these things happen. And then my branding starts to make more sense, right? Because I'm coming strictly from a place of thinking it and making it happen. And it's that phrase that says, my brain is my money.
Love that.
My brain is my money. And so many people don't utilize their brain because they automatically start it where they see someone else leave off.
Yeah, that is so true. Yes. Is this what you teach in Beauty and Her Brains? Or highlight?
Highlight, yes, that's the perfect word, highlight. So in Beauty and Her Brains, I'm going to just give you the quick backstory. Beauty and Her Brains actually started as a personal idea. I was so sick of dumbing down myself and what I really wanted to talk about, what I really wanted to offer, who I really wanted to work with. I got so sick and tired of that I knew that hiding behind Keisha was not going to serve me. I said, you know what? I'm going to create a brand called Beauty and Her Brains, and it is going to be me utilizing my brain to talk about whatever I wanted to discuss anything I wanted to without feeling like it needed to be a blog about this business thing. I wanted to have the freedom to kind of chronicle my experience with using my brain to make life happen for myself. That's where Beauty and Her Brains actually came from. It wasn't intended to be a business, right? It was intended to be a platform to spawn other businesses. And then what I decided was, I'm not the only one. My clients have often felt like they aren't really working at the level they'd like to be. For whatever reason, fear around clients won't come, people won't pay their prices, whatever that is, right? I'm like, I'm not the only one. And so with Beauty and Her Brains, I inspire and cultivate a culture where I challenge everyone, whether or not they're actually operating from their brain or from their thoughts. And there's a significant difference. We talk about the nerdy stuff, right? And all those things. We have really in-depth, introspective conversations about things that may or may not be related to a business. maybe it's related to life, but it can impact business. So it's about just having that environment where they feel supported and knowing that nothing they can bring to me is too much.
Mm.
It's not too much. And knowing that they can then take that and then be taught and coached and mentored in how to translate that into a business venture that works for them.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Where do I sign up?
BeautyInHerBrains.com. So, I'm going to talk, okay, yes. So, it's just so weird. I'm so proud of myself. Okay, so I got Beauty in Her Brains up in like a month. I was so happy about that. So Beauty in Her Brains, you go to Beauty in Her Brains with an S and M, BeautyInHerBrains.com. You can check out the site. And we actually, in March 1st, we'll be opening up our monthly membership. It's going to just be a super awesome, just monthly, kind of like a support group for really awesome women to just be able to be there and talk about whatever, and get guidance and supported and business build and dream build and life plan and all these things. And so that'll be released on the site on the 1st of March, and that'll be open. And I am really, really excited about that. The founding price is only $33 a month.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
so excited because usually all my things are like really like thousands and thousands of dollars. So I'm really, look at me. Look at my thing. Awesome. Yeah, so that's it. And so we're working on it. It's really basic. But if you see on the site, you can check out our consulting and retreats because we do that. But I really do encourage you, if you really aren't sure and you know that what you want is support, and I don't mean support for your business, I mean support for you. If you know that you are tired of lessening what you want to do, you're tired of playing it safe, you're tired of playing it small, you're tired of you're tired of the small talk that's happening in online business. If you are tired of the small talk, I encourage you to consider BeautyInHerBrains.com, especially the monthly membership, because it's such a low intro cost. And I did that for one particular reason. I want to have an avenue where I can just be there to support you, to support your brilliance, because one of the biggest challenges that I see is that you get really gung-ho about your goals, and I'm going to do this goal, this goal, this goal. But then when you look around and you don't see anyone doing the bigness that you see, it can be very deflating.
Yes.
And it can feel like you're not on the right track. And that is your avenue. Sashka, can you relate to that? Yes. Where you come in and we put it together, we unbox it and we build it up with so many awesome things. So check us out.
Definitely.
Excited.
All right. We're reaching our 30-minute mark training.
Yeah.
So it was nice and compact. It's definitely a replay that we're going to be doing again.
Yes.
See how things are progressing.
Encore. Do you have any panties to throw on the stage? Encore.
And I would like to leave everyone that's listening with your favorite quote. Oh. I didn't mean to stump you or anything.
No, I'm not stumped. My favorite quote would be my favorite quote relating to this would be the one that Beauty in Her Brains was founded on, which is, my brain is my money. That's it. Because I'm telling you, when you really think about that, when you say it aloud, you remind yourself that all this other stuff is great, but at the end of the day, you are fully capable of making the money you want, of growing the business you want, and it all starts here.
Yeah.
Once you realize that you think it, that's where it happens. Your brain is your money. Yes, systems and tools and all that stuff and branding and all of that is icing on top of the cake. But at the end of the day, if you have your brain, you can make money. You can make money in some way as you continue to grow and learn and enhance and upgrade and all of that. Just remember, your brain is what you need.
Yeah.
That's what you need.
Without it, you can't have a business.
You cannot. Yeah, you absolutely cannot. You have a hobby, one that's very expensive.
Oh,
right? And that's the truth of the matter. That was me for quite some time. I'm like, yeah, can't really have a business. I'm not making any money. Yeah, I have a business, really? You know what I mean? That whole thing. So, yeah, so your brain is your money. Your brain is your money. Your brain. Your brain is all that you need.
Yeah.
You have to believe it.
I believe it.
That.
Fully 100%.
My brain, God, yes.
That's why I'm branding your soul with your brain.
Yes.
All that belongs together.
Awesome. Exactly. And that's it. Because when you do that, you're unstoppable.
Yay! Thank you so much, Keisha, for taking some time and sharing your awesomeness and brains with us.
Oh, thank you.
And we'll see you in the group, in the Facebook group, Branding and Marketing Magic.
Yes. I'll be there doing my dreams and goals on Wednesdays.
Yes.
I'm really excited about that. Yes. Awesome.
And then hearing more from you about the beauty and her brains.
I know. I'll have to get it out there. Oh my gosh. This is too much for me, guys. I'm a hider. I am a hider. I'm a, what do they call a spray and pray? That's usually me. So now I have to own it and stand behind it and stay true to what I said about this. So
exactly.
Keep me accountable, everyone. Okay.
Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.